Hey, what's up YouTube? It is the Brick Building Kids. Today I have got a video for you guys. I'm going to show you how to replace a broken slider on your Nintendo Switch. Now, this is a little different compared to a broken Joy-Con. So, broken slider is this side piece here has broken off completely. So, as you guys can see in here, there is a little ribbon that connects to the Nintendo Switch to the slider. So it is an essential component to getting these Joy-Cons to work. Now, if you have stumbled across this video and have a broken Joy-Con control stick, I've got a video for that too. So I'll include a link in the description to how to replace this as well. But we are going to go into, like I said, replacing this, and let's get started. Here we go. Alright, now first you're going to want to make sure you have ordered the right part. So on Amazon, what I did is we ordered the right slider. So I'll include a link to the left and the right slider. Both repairs are very similar. The ribbon is in a different spot for each one, but it is very similar. So as well, you want to make sure you have a pack of screws. These screws were purchased in a package from Amazon. We've replaced many different Switch parts and Nintendo parts, so I just got a huge variety pack. And as well, you are going to want to make sure that you have all the screwdrivers you need. I've got a bag full of all the different screwdrivers I need for these electronic repairs. So, before you get started, you just want to make sure you have all that. And again, I will include links to all of these items in our video description. So now when we get started, we want to flip the Switch over, and if you have anything attached to the back of yours, make sure you take that off. The SD card, if you have one, will need removed, so you want to make sure and pull that out. Just set that aside. And one big thing is when you are going through this repair, just make sure you keep track of all of your screws and where they go to. So we're going to start to take this outside shell off now. Alright guys, now we're going to take the screws off the shell. Now, I will say, mine is a little different than hopefully yours is. My kids have beaten the crap out of this thus far. So, some of the screws are missing. These screws here are missing. These screws are here. So, the top of the shell is broken. It's held up very well. It's working, but they've abused it, man. They have abused it. So we're going to start by taking off these screws. So we'll start at the bottom. Okay, here's one. And like I said, you will want to keep track of these screws pretty well. So we're going to take this one off here. Okay, so that is two. Now there's one right here, right underneath where your SD card is. This is going to require some more changes as well, so we'll take this off. And this is not the first time, and most likely not the last time I will be doing this repair. So it's in there very good. And for this part, you will want to use a precision Phillips screwdriver. And like I said, just be careful because these screws will strip very, very easily if you are not careful. So if it seems like it's turning, get a different size. Okay, so those are off. Alright, now we've got a little more. Okay, so on the side there are screws here that we will need to take off. On this side, yeah, on this side we're good. On this side we are going to have to take off a few of these just to get the shell to come off. Okay. Get a closer look for you guys, okay. Okay, so we have 3 total screws here holding this slider on. This slider is not... We're not going to be changing this one, but we do need to loosen a few of the screws so we can actually remove the shell. So I believe it is this middle one. Yep, it is that middle one. Okay, so the middle one is removed, so we can now take the shell off when everything else is taken off. So we got a little more work to do. So up top, right here, okay. Seem to be holding on by nothing else. Okay. Alright, now this may look intimidating. The first time, it was intimidating to me as well. But we can do this. We can do this. So, let's take a minute and let's look at the old slider. So, here's the slider, here. It connects in here, okay? So, we're going to need to remove more of this to get to where the slider hooks up at. We have to be able to take this new part, this new guy, we need to be able to fit it in here. And you can see by the length of the ribbon inside the packaging, it actually goes underneath here. So it's a little challenging, but we can do this. Okay, so we do not need this one. Alright, now under here, you're going to need to... We did remove this on the last one. Yeah, see, we need to get... At this point, guys, so we need to get this cover off. And in order to get the cover off, there are just a few screws up top. We've got one here, 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 and here. There, we need to remove those. This here, this mini SD card reader, I believe we actually need to unattach this first. And let's double check. Because I believe this will get in our way. Okay, we're just going to leave this sit here for a minute while we verify. Just take off the rest of these screws. Okay, this should be our last one. No, not quite. We got one right in the middle. Okay. Yeah, see, this is why. So in order to take this off, we need to Yeah. So this is held underneath. It's a very easy piece to remove. We just have to get to it. So let me zoom in here. Get a better angle like this. Okay. You see, this is just the card reader. Okay. And came right off. So make sure when we reattach this, we attach it right to there, and that is right above where we're going to be putting the new ribbon, or right next to where we're going to put the new ribbon, which is right here. Okay. Alright, now in order to put the new ribbon on, we've got to remove the old broken one. Now, one thing just to kind of point out, when we put this back on, it is going to have a interesting like fold. So, see here, when I put this back in, it lays flat, curls up and around. And it goes over, so it's an interesting fold, and you just want to make note of that, so you know when you're putting this back together, because there's going to be a little bit of excess, and it's going to be confusing here for a minute. All right, guys, now we're going to pull this ribbon out. All right, now there are no nubs to hold on this one, so we're just gonna, when we reattach it, we're just gonna slide it right back in there, just like that. All right, let's grab our new one. Okay, now one challenging thing that we had, and that you're probably going to have as well, is with the screws on the side. So I am going to wait until the very end to attach all the screws on the side. So you guys may want to do the same. It's kind of like when we were going over the left side, is one screw held it together onto the frame. Now, like I said, my boys have not treated this switch very well. This is the oldest switch we have in the house, so it is actually missing some structural parts. So the switch, or the slider is attached to the base at parts, and there's only one part that I can actually still attach this on, and yeah, it actually will still attach. So we'll go ahead and we will attach that to the side just for good purpose, and so it doesn't keep flopping over. Okay, so alright, so we have one of our old screws. Now, I did save all of the old screws that fell off when Noah, Alex, whoever broke this last time, when it all fell off, so I'm able to just reattach it here. Okay. Alright, so that's in, that's holding it in. Okay. Alright guys, now we're going to tuck this in how we had it before. Okay. And this is the fun fold because we need to hold this down here so this doesn't pop back out. But we also need this end down. So if we flip, okay, getting there. Okay, so we're still down. All right, now this guy, this ribbon, we need to just insert while keeping this down. Okay, and be very, very gentle with this. So now we're down. Fold this in. Okay, now we are not, this is not how you need it to go, but this is going to get, this is, I am folded in properly. I just need to very gently, try to get you guys a good angle here. So I need to gently lift our ribbon out of what it's wedged itself into. Okay, perfect, we're getting there. Okay, we need to go right in there. Okay, and we are in. Now I just use these just to push it in, make sure it's all the way in. Okay, now we're good. Okay, now, I do not believe this is charged. It has any kind of charge. And no, it doesn't. Okay. All right, now we're gonna start putting this thing back together. Okay. So if you did have a charge on your Switch, what you could do is power it on, slide the Joy-Con on, take it off, but unfortunately I have been sitting on this repair for a few months now. All the other boys have their own Switches, and this has just been out of sight, out of mind. But I want to get this done, so I want to get it fixed. So I'm just going to go with that, and yeah, put this back together. So let's retrace our steps. Alright, now this is going to be tricky, because I know the first time I did this fix, I had to redo this multiple times. So we're going to line this up. Okay, now this is our SD card right here. Okay, and actually my screws came out over here, which is fine. It held up long enough. Held up long enough to get this done, so I'm going to reattach this screw here eventually. Okay. Alright guys, now for me, I am going to start, I'm going to hold this side. That screw is not holding on. I am going to need to put more screws in here into the side. It is just not holding on, so I'm going to hold it here tightly. Now, we are going to want to reattach, let's zoom in here. So you've got this, that we need to make sure we reattach this in the proper spot. So you should just be able to hear it. Press right in. I'm in. Okay. Now we're going to reattach all of these screws. Alright, we've got all of the sheet on. Okay. So let's put all of our frame pieces back on. Now this one down here, I always question, so I'm gonna put a small one in first. Put the SD card back in, just make sure it still fits. Oops. Alright, so it's good. And okay. Now we have these large frame pieces at all the corners. This large screw. Slip it through here. And like I said before, some of these are tight, so just try not to strip them, because you will regret it later if you have to remove it again, or if you don't have, yeah, that's getting worn. And hopefully all of your frame is still intact. A lot of these plastic pieces that the screws hold on to inside have deteriorated to practically nothing. So, alright, that's a good hold. Okay. Now we've got at the very top, right above our fan, we've got a tiny screw to stick in here. Okay, and we've got those two remaining screws in the bottom. Okay, there's one. Alright, now we've got everything hooked up now. We need to charge this. We need to figure out what's going on. Let's give me a minute. We'll charge this up and see what kind of success we have. Alright guys, I have got it to a super low battery quantity, but just to test this out. So you'll notice right side was the side that was broken. Alright, it is connected. Alright, so let's test, make sure this did right this side. We're good. Alright, now I'm going to take out the SD card and put it back in. Okay, so restart the console, use the micro SD card. Okay, we're going to plug it back in so we know it is working. It did sense it being unplugged and plugged back in. Alright, and our batteries are dead. So guys, I do appreciate you tuning in. I hope you have as much success as we have with this repair. Like I said, if you have a Switch that has the broken joystick, I did include in the link, or in the video description, a link to a video where I replace this part on some older Joy-Cons. So if you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Please like and subscribe for more Brick Building Kids fun, and have a great day. Thank you very much for watching.